Now your screen may look a little different from mine, but the main thing you're going to be looking for is Teacher Tools. Click on Teacher Tools. You'll notice there's a drop down that says Class. What you're going to want to do is look in the Google Classroom Classes section and find your classes. Now mine lists all classes, but this will only list the classes in which you are the teacher. So I know I'm the teacher in one called 2019-2020 McClung's class. And so I put that in the search bar, and that way it narrows the view in case you have lots of classes. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that class. Now, the next thing that you want to be aware of is that before you use Teacher Tools, you have to start your class. Unless your class is started, your Teacher Tools will not work with the student devices. So after you've found your Google Classroom class, you're going to need to click Start Class. However, before we click that, I want to talk about the students that show up. If you know there's a student who is absent that day, you're going to want to deselect that student. That way you can be sure that that student is not included in your class. So if they're at home, their devices are able to be used as they need. However, if all your students are in class, you can make sure all of them are selected. You will note that you have a Select All and Select None option. So if you're doing a small group instruction, you can just choose the students that you are going to be using at that time. After you've selected the students that are present, you're going to click Start Class. When the Start Class window comes up, you'll want to make a few decisions. If your class length is different than what's listed here, you can change it in this box. Or you can simply put an end time for your class. Don't worry, you can actually manually end your class as well. Also, you want to make sure that Enforce Organization Block List is always checked. This one is an option. Close all open tabs when class starts. I want to caution against using this because if a student is coming from another class and has some tabs open that he or she hasn't been able to really finish what they're doing, by force closing these, you may lose a resource that they're actually using. So I like to keep this one unchecked. You can also decide how many tabs you want to limit their device to. Again, you may want to leave this to unlimited unless you really know what's happening on your students' devices. Then you can decide if you want to allow students to digitally raise their hand. This can be helpful in hybrid environments or in classrooms where the student wants to remain somewhat anonymous but still get help. You also can determine if you want to allow students to initiate teacher chat. This checked means they can chat with you at any time. I like to deselect this and only use chat if I want to initiate it as a teacher, but that's entirely up to you. I do like to leave the last one checked. Play a chat alert sound on a student device. If your students have their volume on and you have this checked, if you send them a chat, they will be digitally alerted that there is a chat available on their device. After you have selected all the options for starting your class, you'll click Start Class. Once your class has started, your student devices are then able to be managed. I do want to show you that at any time you can click the Stop Class button and you will stop having connection with your student devices if you need to. So that's as simple as starting and stopping a class. Next, we'll go over the tools that you can use while you have your class started.